Welcome to Six Pack Cinema. Thank you very much for joining. We are talking about Outlaw King, the Netflix movie about Robert the Bruce, starring Chris Pine. Basically a sequel to Braveheart. Pretty much a sequel to Braveheart. You all saw it. Thanks for tuning in. Let's get into it.
Dude, you should review movies.
Oh my god, yes.
Okay, I've had a couple, so...
Movie review.
All right, what's up, everybody? Thank you for joining and clicking play on Six Pack Cinema, podcast review on Outlaw King. Either you just saw Outlaw King and you want to hear more people talk about it, or you're a recurring listener, and we thank you, both of you, either one, no matter which you are. Maybe you hit play and then you're not listening. That's weird, but I also thank you for that because, you know, numbers are numbers. So we got Outlaw King here. The way this podcast works, we're going to do our gut reaction and our kind of just like overview of it. Then we're going to go into, we're going to break it down what we liked, what we didn't like throughout the movie, and then we're going to rate it. We got popcorns, which is entertainment and enjoyment, and we have our critical, which is more critical. Hey. So here we go. We have me. We got, my name's John Boy, Jimmy, whatever. We got John and
Sheehan,
Dave.
you, whatever.
Well, I don't go by, I don't use John Boy on here, and because you're John, so it'd be confusing.
Well, I tried to call you John Boy for a while, and you both kept responding to it because it sounded like John.
Yeah, and I go by Sheehan everywhere else, so.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Well, now if you're new, you've met us all. Dave, you want to go first? Gut reaction, main thoughts.
I thought it was very okay. It wasn't as good as I was expecting, and it had some pacing issues, but overall, I liked it. I thought all the actors were great in it, and I just feel like it could have been better as a miniseries than trying to fit it all into a 2-hour movie.
I like that point. I do. I think everything's better as a miniseries, though, because that's just kind of how my brain works now. John, what do you got?
You made a lot of fair points there. I would disagree strongly. I don't think everyone was a good actor there. There was a lot of shit performances in this one, and overall it was meh. Just meh. I could have just walked away midway through and not given a shit.
Okay, so we have Dave is it's okay, good, not great. John, you're meh, which is one notch below okay, I think.
I think so.
I'm
What are you at?
I'm on par with Dave. I liked it, but I love, like, this is my alley. You know what I mean? So, like, I know that I'm the chances that I like this movie are going to be higher than my girlfriend or anyone else, I guess, because I love history and I love, like, these kinds of movies. Like, it's kind of like an epic, like a slow epic. Like, I like these kinds of movies, but it just didn't have, like, an it factor to me. It just kind of all happened.
Yeah, this is where it would benefit from being a miniseries because the drama really took place at the beginning when the families of Scotland were like, oh, we give up, we're in England. Oh wait, no, we're not. They killed the guy. Now I killed you. And just there was a lot of shit going on there. And unless you were very knowledgeable of Scottish history, it goes over your head. The drama of him, the drama of Chris Pine killing the other guy, that could have been a lot higher if this was a miniseries.
I agree with that, but I thought the first act was the weakest part, just because they were, like, blowing over it all to get to the actual rebellion.
That's literally what he just said.
Well, you just said it was, like, the best part with all the drama.
No, I said it could have been the best part, but it was so rapid fire. It should have been a miniseries in that sense.
Okay, yeah. Sorry.
I didn't even have this in my brain, like, thinking how this would have worked as a miniseries, and you guys are so correct. It would be a fantastic miniseries.
Look at us, Dave. Look at us.
I know. You do this as, like, 6 episodes, like, hour-long episodes. That's 6 hours to tell the story, and you can really let it breathe and, like, get to know these characters better.
Yeah, man. I saw some people saying, like, it was just like like too muddy in a literal sense, and then in like the movie too. Like, it was just kind of bland. I liked it. I watched scenes again. That's what I like about Netflix, because I just went back and, like, the opening one shot is amazing.
Yes, I agree with that. That whole first, like, 5 minutes is all one shot.
9 minutes.
It's 9? I didn't realize it was that long.
Shane, you didn't notice it was a one shot?
I'm trying to remember the
So
from the surrender
very-
from the beginning,
The
all
sword
the
fight,
way
is that
through
part of
the
it?
sword,
Yeah.
the sword fight, and then back through the tent
That's
to
a long time.
to Douglas, and then back outside, and then back through the tent again to see them shoot the catapult to destroy the castle.
Yeah, I
Damn.
watched it, and then I immediately made a Twitter video about it, like me talking about how crazy it was, and then I went back and finished the movie because I was so impressed with the one shot. Because
Did you really?
yeah, one shots usually like Haunting of Hill House had a one shot that was 17 minutes long, but it was one room, and it's just all dialogue. It was more like a stage play. This was a tracking shot into a dark tent to the light outside, so you're dealing with different color for the camera. A sword fight with monologue and dialogue while there's doing the sword fight. Then back into the tent, into the dark. They do a new character. Then back outside and a catapult. It is crazy ambitious one shot. 9 minutes long, and they said it was 13 at first, but they cut down a couple. And Chris Pine said he was pissed. He was like, "This is crazy," but it's a hell of a way to start a movie.
Very unrelated to this, but now that I know you're such a fan of like when they can do one shots, you should. I don't know if you watch Mr. Robot, but in season 3, episode 5, almost the entire episode is one long shot.
Really,
And
always
there's
Sunny
like a
did
riot
that.
in the building, and like it follows multiple characters across multiple floors. It's cool. I think if you don't watch the show, it's worth checking out.
Yeah,
for the
True
cinematography.
Detective did one. I'd never seen the Birdcage one.
No,
But yeah, I
Birdman.
like one shots.
Birdman. That whole movie was basically one, but not really. It was made this. It was. There was only one cutaway of the whole movie.
Is there?
Yeah.
They had to mask things then.
Oh, it was entirely
sure,
masked.
yeah,
Trust me,
yeah.
I know that. But it was meant to be like
It
look like
looks
just
like,
one continuous
yeah.
camera shot.
Yeah. So they opened up with the one here, which I thought was super impressive. And it kind of told the story, but I had to, like, I went back and watched it twice because I made the video, and then I really knew the story because I don't think it was actually effective, like, getting all those characters in. They wanted it to be effective. Like, the director said we had to explain so much really quickly, so we thought the one shot, we could bring all the characters in one place and everything. But it's like you're both saying, it could have been so much better if all that kind of got spread out and had a whole episode of intro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What'd you think about the gore? I thought it was too gory.
I thought it was very
Yeah.
realistic on that side. That didn't like some of it was like I don't want to watch this. Like it was making me cringe, but I liked it because it fit the tone of the movie.
I'm usually okay with gore. I broke our code and I started texting about it midway through because I was frazzled by the the uncle who got strung up on hung and then gutted in front of his niece.
Yep.
I was like, oh, that's so shitty. They're gonna hang him in front of him. Oh God, they're ripping his stomach open.
You see everything then.
It was so fucking horrible. It was traumatic.
Okay, that's what you were texting about? I wasn't sure, because I immediately was like, stop talking, I haven't seen it yet. But I thought you were, because you were just complaining, it sounded like, not like, oh my god, it's horrible and I can't watch this, but I thought you were just saying it's badly written.
No,
I
it was like...
I thought you were talking about that joke in the beginning that just felt so out of place, where the chambermaids were like, oh, that was quick sex.
Yeah, what the fuck was that? That was so weird. I was like, wait, what?
There was like two or three scenes in the movie where it was like random jokes that didn't fit with the rest of it. And I don't know if the movie was originally supposed to be like very comedic and they cut most of it out or what.
The best joke in the whole movie was all the stupid haircuts. Is that like their way of just like making sure that people recognize it as like not modern? Like, oh,
maybe.
Because those haircuts were so stupid. There's no way people had haircuts that stupid.
I think they did.
I don't think those are historically accurate. I just think it's like, all right, what will make people think this is what they looked like back then?
I think people were really bad at painting portraits back then, so everyone assumed they had shitty haircuts like that.
Why did no one have buzz cuts? You never just
Because you have to do it very often then.
Yeah, and like they didn't have clippers back then. They actually had like, swords
just-
and...
Yeah,
you
you
very
grew your hair
rarely
out.
see like just a real nice short haircut in the olden days. It's always fucking weird. I mean, Chris Pine's haircut looks so stupid.
It was a mess. Ugh. I thought he was pudgy and fat too, but no, it was just the way his clothes were going.
Do you guys have a favorite scene or a least favorite scene, like a memorable part of the movie?
I do.
I thought... Oh, sorry, I'll let you go first.
Yeah. There's one scene that really stood out as being like wicked out of place, and far be it for me to complain about a sex scene, but this one was so like intense out of nowhere for me. Chris Pine and his wife.
I thought they built up to that well because they spent
I don't know, man.
Three-quarters of the movie building up, or not three-quarters, but like half the movie building up to them finally like realizing they cared about each other and fucking.
Yeah, but it was almost porn,
Well,
and
yeah.
like it was just to me it felt like completely out of place.
You didn't like them tickling each other with a little rosemary leaf or whatever it was?
Yeah, I did not like that. Did not. Didn't do it for me.
Yeah.
Well,
It was a long scene too, very long for a sex scene.
It's an epic.
was it?
Yeah.
Maybe
Alright.
compared to your sex scenes.
Oh!
Callback joke. Shut up. Whatever.
A scene I really did like all the battles actually. I was gonna say the one at the end, but also when they invaded the camp in the middle of the night, I thought all of those were done really well.
Yes.
The invasion was cool. The next invasion, when the guy who pledged his loyalty to him, and then he invaded his own castle on his own.
Oh.
Douglas?
Douglas, were we supposed to think like, oh, is he gonna turn? Because
I think it was supposed to be like up in the air if you don't know actual history.
yeah.
Oh.
Because that's where I was like, ooh, are they gonna? Is he actually gonna like meet with them and conspire or do something? But he didn't. He just killed everyone in church. I don't know
thought he
why
was
he had
pretty-
to go alone. I didn't really get that part, but it was cool.
I thought he was pretty bare bones. Like, he was probably the most honest guy in the whole movie. I felt like.
Which I thought
in no way did I think he was going to betray anybody.
I thought Aaron Taylor Johnson, who's the actor who portrayed him, did a great job too because the Mad Douglas is a well-known historical figure for being an absolute psychopath.
Yeah.
And just like covered in blood screaming, Douglas! Douglas! Throughout the movie. I was like, all right, he's nailing it.
At the end when he said like, "Say my name," that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
My favorite scene, or like the scene that I keep, my memory just keeps jumping to. You know, sometimes you watch a movie and then you just jump to random scenes. Is the water scene when they're rowing across, and then he sees the other guy's army come and like fuck him up in the water, because that was like they were already down so many men. And they were up like 40 men. It was kind of crazy.
And it was also a crazy thing. Like, all right, everyone just get in a boat and we'll be okay.
That's what I didn't really understand.
They can't swim? Like, what's going on?
Well, they're in armor. That would
Yeah,
like
they
weigh you
couldn't
down and
swim.
drown
True.
you.
Like
Good
the
point.
boats weren't getting away fast. They're kind of just slow.
It was more. It wasn't even. It was more like a. It reminded me of like a football team brawl. Like everyone just kind of slowly gets out there, and nothing ever really gets settled, and just kind of wander apart. It was weird.
Yeah. The other thing that stands out in my mind is his wife getting put in that bird cage on the side of the like that would be so cold.
Apparently there was more scenes with her in that cage with like kids throwing rocks at her and her dumping her like bucket of waste on kids that were cut.
I can see why that'd be cut for sure. Yeah.
I think like
You're telling me
that
I
fits in,
filmed
like,
those
the funnier
scenes for
version of this
nothing.
movie. Her just dumping waste on these kids.
That actress has to be like, so I spent 2 days in that bird cage
For like one scene.
and you cut it all. That was
So-
pretty
no-
like troubling. Though I was like, man, that would suck to be just fucking dangling on the side of a cliff in a bird cage.
And
I
that's
thought they
the-
were gonna dip her in the water.
Me too.
That would
That's what I
that
thought
would
was happening.
be far worse for me. I'd rather dangle for years than be put in the water like that. You know, they actually, that's, I mean, obviously that's a very real thing, but did you know that was, there was 3 skeletons hanging in bird cages in I want to say France, up until about 10 years ago. Just skeletons chilling in the top of a church.
What are you talking about? In bird cages?
Yeah,
10
you know, they
years
put the
ago?
girl in the bird cage, like you pointed out.
Do you like mean to say 40 years ago? You mean in 2008 there was skeletons?
They finally removed the skeletons.
Skeletons, bird cages, France. It's better.
No way that's accurate. It's gonna be like in the 80s they removed them.
Yeah, nothing comes up. Just like if you want to buy a skeleton in a bird cage, you're gonna have to let me know. But that was a pretty crazy scene.
Yes. How did you guys feel about all of his brothers though? Because I didn't really care about any of them.
I guess
Didn't care.
I don't care.
Because there's like 5 of them, and I know like 2 died, I think, maybe 3. That was another thing. I felt like they should have either combined them all into one, which I understand wouldn't be historically accurate, but then you get more scenes with just one character. Or if you have the miniseries, then you can like get to know these guys. But the fact that there was like 5 of them, and then they just kept dying, I was like, well, I don't care if they die.
I know that this isn't an actual sequel to Braveheart, but part of your brain had to be like, they fucking fell for the horse spike thing again? He fell for that 3 battles ago.
Yeah. Although I think in real life that didn't happen until this battle.
Well, either way, don't fall for that twice.
Were either of you guys expecting Mel Gibson to make a cameo? Because I was kind of hoping for it.
I was not. He didn't, right?
No, he didn't.
No. The horse spot, that battle scene, you said, I did like that battle scene. I don't know if reviews are saying it because I think it was like kind of realistic in like an underwhelming sense. Like it was more just chaos, and they wanted them to go in the bog and the spikes. They had everything going. But yeah. I thought it was cool. What did you think? I didn't like that he let him live at the end.
No, I know in real life, like, the prince got away, but it couldn't have been like that, where they're all surrounding him and he just lets them go. Because you're at war with England, you might want to capture the prince/king.
Well, I heard
and
that
hold him hostage.
In real life, the prince wasn't even at that battle.
Oh, what I had read is he was, and he got separated from his forces and, like, just found them, like, days later.
Interesting. John, do you have a favorite scene or scene that sticks out? Did you say one?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. That final scene. It's tough for me watching some of those scenes because I always have a hard time following what's going on.
The battle scenes?
Yeah. I mean, Game of Thrones does it pretty well, but I mean, there's a lot of fast cuts and quick things, and especially whenever it's all muddy, you don't really you can't tell who's who. This one, I thought they did a good job of making sure that you knew what was going on. Granted, they're all yelling their own names, but...
Yeah, I was about to say, there's like 3 characters we know at that point, and one is the redhead, one's Chris Pine, and the other is screaming Douglas every few seconds.
So yeah, it's simple kudos to that, though.
Douglas!
What's my name?
Anything else? Anything else we got to talk about? I mean, the queen. I thought who do you think wasn't acting well, John?
I hate the prince.
It's because of his haircut.
Hated him.
His haircut was bad.
No, his face was bad. It's just everything about him was bad.
I thought he acted well, but I hated his haircut. He just looked like a dork.
No, he was too intense. He was, I don't know.
I don't know, that scene with the geese, I was like, all right, fuck yeah.
That geese, has someone made that into a GIF yet?
I don't think so.
I haven't seen it, no.
That scene's, I think in GIF brain now, and I'm just like, that's funny. Just a guy screaming and holding up 2 geese by the neck.
Also, as much as I like hated him, I was like, fuck yeah, when his dad gave like this dying request, and he's like, of course. And then as soon as his dad dies, he's like, no, I don't give a fuck what he said. I'm king now.
Yeah. He told his dad, he was like, you never thought I could be as good as you. Well, I'm better than you. It's like, ooh, get him, Prince. Douchebag. Get him. And then you lost. And in real life, like, Bruce gets Scotland freedom for a long time, right?
Yeah. They gave that little blurb at the end, like 8 years later, they ended up getting their freedom, and then the current monarchy is descended from his line.
Yes. And then they went to England, they took over both, and like Scotland got fucked again.
Yeah.
But they like
and then that's what was the reason for the Brexit.
Yeah. Well, that's right. All right. Do we have anything else? Do we go into ratings?
I think we go into ratings, right?
I think we go. Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to do popcorn first, which is out of 5 stars. Rewatchability, entertainment as you watched. John, you said you had your popcorn locked up. So what are you going?
3.5. 3.5. It's just slightly above average for exciting stuff. I don't know. Okay. 3 means it was like I liked watching it and I'll never watch it again. I'll watch scenes. So 3.5.
You're going to watch the first scene again because you didn't even realize it was a one shot.
Yeah, I'm really bad at this like observation stuff.
Did you get anyone's race wrong in this?
I mean, half of them are muddy, so probably.
Oh my God! I don't know if you can say that.
That's fucked up. I didn't even think of that.
I'm going 4. But my bias is included there because I love historical dramas and epics of this sort.
Yeah, I also went 4, but for the same reason. I acknowledge I'm also kind of biased to like this. I really like medieval and historical films, so it was right up my alley.
Yep. All right, so 4s have it.
The 4s have it. Now we go into our critical rating, which out of 100. I'm going to throw my number out there to you guys, okay?
Wait. I thought you wanted to make Sheehan do it to lock it in.
I won't do that. I do that to him last time, too.
Yeah.
All right.
My number is 83. And I don't know why it is that. Because I think it's really well made. Cinematography is awesome. I think the acting's awesome. Like you said, the miniseries idea is good. And I think the miniseries idea means just want more of it. But I don't know. I don't really know how to back it up.
I think the miniseries idea says that they rushed it, or they didn't, like Dave said, didn't breathe. So I'm actually marking points off for that because it would have been better as a miniseries. And of course, it was made by Netflix, so it has all the resources in the world to make it a miniseries.
Yeah, well, it's on Netflix, not on the movie.
Okay, fine. Yeah, you're right. Got me there.
I went at 83. I don't know why, but that's what I was thinking of. I think it's a well-made, good movie. I think it's a real good sequel to Braveheart. Like, if you watch Braveheart and enjoyed it, you're going to watch this because you already got the whole story. Basically, you're ready for it.
Yeah, I do want to, like, maybe over Christmas when I have some days off, do a back-to-back watch of them. See if it works that way.
Still haven't seen it.
That's wild to me.
Oh, so that's why you probably do, like, nothing, dude.
It's probably a big portion of why I was so ignorant on it. Okay.
Like, when they strung up William Wallace, that's Mel Gibson. That was
I knew that.
That was his arm.
I knew that.
That was his cameo.
Imagine
that's
that.
why I
Did a body
expected,
cast.
like, I was like, maybe he'll appear as William Wallace, like, early in the movie again.
When they did that, I stopped it and I did a little Googling as to figure out like how he actually died, like the whole process, and it's a gruesome way to go.
Didn't they just, like, tear him apart?
Yeah, they tore him apart.
No. That was the final part. They hung him, and then they ripped his guts out, put it back in, took him off, and then stretched him all 5 ways to tear him in pieces.
Yeah, that's hung and quartered.
Yeah.
That's also what they did to the uncle. You just don't see the second half of it.
Yeah.
No, they said that he was still alive when they pulled him apart.
Maybe.
Is that normal?
I don't know.
Maybe.
But
And then they threw his head into tar for good measure.
Braveheart's a little cheesier, a little less realistic, but a better movie, I think.
I'll agree with that. But getting back to our scores, I gave it a 73.
Wow.
I agree with a lot of what you said, though. I love the subject matter. I thought everyone, for the most part, did a great job. I thought the cinematography was great. It's just really the pacing that, especially the first act, that I'm taking points away from. And then those few scenes here and there that just felt like they were straight out of a comedy.
They were weird when they just cracked that joke. I was like, what the fuck? It doesn't match the tone of this at all.
Yeah. But also some of the dialogue felt like it was more modern dialogue and not medieval to me. I couldn't, like, shake the feeling that it's just not how people talked back then. I have no, like, examples to back that up. It just felt weird to me, so I'm taking points off for that.
It's a gut feeling. Okay. All right, you said 73?
Mm-hmm.
I was going to go 75, just as an average. 75, C. Bam.
Right.
Call it a day.
Any particular reasons besides what we've said?
I told you I'm all about meh on this one. I don't want to repeat everything you guys just said, but 75. Go with that. Sorry.
All right, fair. What would you guys have with it if you're going to watch it again?
You gotta have a goblet of wine, red wine.
Yeah.
Shane? Or not Shane, Jimmy. Really? You guys are going wine?
Goblet of red
Scottish
wine.
movie. You gotta have scotch.
No, that was perfect. Goblet of red wine. Couldn't have said it better myself. I'm gonna edit this so I went first.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Damn
Okay.
it.
Our last two segments here. What do you think it got on Rotten Tomatoes?
Oh. I like this segment. I forgot about it.
It's like a surprise to you every time we do it.
Yeah. I'm gonna go 70.
Oh.
Did you freeze?
No, my brain froze.
Oh.
My brain froze. At the beginning.
I definitely thought you froze. I was like, fuck, my computer froze as he's saying
Shit,
it.
I have no idea. All right, so I'm gonna go that the people said 78 and the critics said 70.
Okay,
Wow.
Shan, what about you?
I have no confidence in that.
I'm gonna go the. I don't know critics higher, but critics probably gonna be like 82, and the people score. I think the people are gonna be just like me. Call it 60.
No way. I don't think it's gonna be that low.
All right, which do you guys want first?
Critic.
Critical.
Critics gave it a 57,
Ooh.
and audiences gave it a 73. So same as me.
All right.
What's up the critics' butt?
I have no idea.
I
I didn't read any of them. I just looked at like the score.
Us critics were like, meh.
I think critics look down on Netflix movies. Like I
definitely agree with that.
I think there's a prejudice to Netflix and Amazon movies.
Especially
unfortunate.
ones that want to be like this is trying to be an epic.
Yes.
They loved it when it's things like To All the Boys Have Ever Loved because they're like, oh, that's a harmless Netflix movie.
Yeah. If this came out in theaters, I think critics would have it higher. I think they're getting punished for it coming out on Netflix.
I could see that.
I really do think the crampedness of the first half hour really affected it, though.
Maybe. A lot of people could have not liked that first half hour and just had like already made up their minds and checked out.
It's probably
I think-
exactly what happened.
I think there's not any humor. Like the humor that they did try to put in there felt so out of place. But like in Braveheart, Mel Gibson kind of just has like a witty way about him. Kind of, you know what I'm saying, Dave? You've seen it.
Yeah.
But like it's just that gives it that it factor where you're like, oh, I really like this guy. I want to root for him. Like I never really liked Chris Pine in this.
Yeah. Although I do like that they called him out, that his character ran away at the end of Braveheart in this movie.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah, he's not there for that final battle because he's like, there's no way we're going to win, and runs away like a coward, and then he gets called a coward in this movie. And he's like, well, we weren't going to win that fight anyways.
Yeah, that's what a coward would say, you coward.
So, final question for you guys. I have my answer, but who would Ben Affleck play in this movie?
The guy,
I think you do.
The guy he killed on the front steps of the chapel.
Yes, thank you. That's who I wrote down.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going with Prince of Wales.
No,
Yes. Have you seen Dogma? Identical character.
but he's too big.
Yeah.
Fine. I'll have him go on a diet.
He's too tall.
No, I think he plays that, like, distant...
Fine. All right. Yeah.
I,
You guys,
I,
hey, two
I
to
both
one, go
was
ahead.
Like, yeah,
Far be it from me, to argue with you guys here. You gotta get a better handle on this than I do, apparently.
I don't know. You are the Ben Affleck expert, though. You
Yeah,
know
but I
his
mean,
range better
clearly
than
this
ever.
movie went like over me.
You needed to watch Braveheart. Everyone else,
I do.
I think that's what it is. Because if you watch Braveheart, you're like, ooh, yeah, more of this story. So you kind of like it already. Whereas if you don't, you're like, what the fuck's this? I don't care.
I gave it a good shot. I mean, I didn't hate it, but it
No.
didn't excite me either.
No, I definitely thought you were gonna hate it, judging from those couple of texts you sent.
What's our final score? What was it? It was 83 plus 73 plus 75.
5.
Does that just mean 75?
I think so. Or 76, maybe.
53. That's wrong, John.
It's wrong.
That's not right, Matt.
Bad math. It's bad math.
Here we go. 77.
77.
Nice. That adds
That
up.
feels right for this movie.
Yeah.
77 and 4 popcorn.
All right.
Great.
Cool. That's it. Thank you guys very much for listening. Go on Instagram, Six Pack Cinema. Go on Twitter, Six Pack Cinema. Let us know what you gave it, what you think, and all of that nonsense, and subscribe and rate and review. And thanks very much. Dave will tell you he loves you.
Love y'all.
There you go.